Hello, it's Morrigan and Empathic Crow. Today is Halloween, October 31st, 2025, and I am in the Empathic Crow costume that I created with my crow necklace that is slightly modified and hopefully will be much better soon. This is the one that after a very powerful throat chakra release, Raven, crow, I say crow. Yes, they're all corvids. We can debate it. But for all intents and purposes, and my brother made it for me this way, this is my crow head, and the crow head just fell off. There are a lot of energetic things clearing out for so many people right now, and there are a lot of things that can feel very scary because change is hard and change can feel scary. Some of the messages, like even a couple of the readings that I did last week, I did not post. And part of that was because the message does need to come out. But at the same time, I'm just getting the heads up that it needs to be in a way that is not incredibly direct, because it will not be well received. And I'm not just talking by people who may watch my video that just are watching my video, but in general, because it's the same reason that even with TikTok, people are having to label peaceful gatherings as like music festivals and things like that, because what we are being told about them is not the truth. And the truth is not currently abundant. So having said that, there are a couple of things. One of the readings, and I did find my Halloween decks. I had them in my car, which is what I suspected, because that's where I did record those readings that I haven't posted. And like I said, I'm going to be very conscientious of how I deliver some of the messages, although that doesn't mean they won't be suppressed or anything like that. So I'm going to set the decks out because I'm not sure which ones are coming to me yet. And we will just go, I'm an intuitive reader, so we go with whatever is coming up. With the Shadows, Oracle of Shadows and Light deck, there was a card that came out in one of the readings that I had done last week and have not posted. Well, actually, there's two. There they are. When the Violet Angel Breaking Dawn, which is 23, that breaks down to a 5, often being like kind of the turning point or change. I was looking at the pink clouds in the back and looking at the words Breaking Dawn. And I know Breaking Dawn is, a Twilight movie? And I didn't even say the correct name when the reference came into my head, but there was a movie back when I was a kid called Red Dawn, and scenes from that movie flashed into my mind. I'm going to leave that there. You know the reference, If you don't, you can look it up. It's up to you. And then Storm Angel 35, which breaks down to an 8. An 8 in the tarot deck is the Strength card. So with the Storm Angel, it's collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies. And she is definitely in that very indigo, third eye chakra, kind of seeing through things, discerning things. And that's a big message right now. Why am I getting a headache? We're not going to do this. That's a very big message right now, is being able to look beyond what's right in front of you and to discern things. The song that has been coming into my head for over a week now is, I don't want to say the title because, again, this feels very sensitive. I may not have a lot of followers, viewership, things like that, but, and I'm not paranoid, but I also really enjoy doing this, and I don't want to set myself up for something. But I will sing you the chorus as I pull out some of these decks, and you may know the song. They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not not control us. We will be victorious. And I know some of that was not in the melody or tune of the song, but part of that's because I'm trying to not fully focus on that, because those messages were part of the readings that came through. They are important. The other piece of it is just be mindful of how we may want to fit in or feel special or validated, to feel like things mean something. But to be mindful, and I've said this in a video before, but even with the 144, 144,000, things like that, it's not that you may not be part of that. It's just remembering that part of it may be being chosen, but a big part of it is remembering that you chose. You chose. So if you are a part of that, you chose. You took on that task. Not every soul wanted to. And it's a heavy task and burden to carry. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know. So just remembering that you don't have to focus on things that people are feeding to you, and not all of it is even true information. Again, third eye chakra, use your discernment. But keep in mind that no matter what, and even if you were chosen for a specific group, you decide whether you follow through. You decide what you're chosen for. And as part of that group, before this lifetime, you chose. You volunteered. And thank you for doing so. But try to not get caught up in the distractions, because there are so many. All right, enough of the cryptic messages, but those were important and needed to come through. So let's move on to the more fun things, because as I mentioned in my sacral chakra activation video, play is very helpful. Play is something we all have to do. And of course, on Halloween, Samhain, which is Halloween. I know last night, I don't know what I was thinking when I was like, when's Samhain? It's a connection to the ancestors. It's a connection to all energy that has been, is, and will be. The veil is thin, and again, be mindful of the things that you say, the things that you do, and that's for any time, but especially right now. To all my fellow Scorpios, if you've already had your birthday, happy belated birthday. To others, happy early birthday. I will probably be saying that again. And step into this energy. Really enjoy it. And as Scorpios, we have incredibly high intuitions. I know this is another group. Everyone has intuition. I have talked about this. But I feel like it's important to say, for any of us Scorpios, we also have those intense emotions. So watch your emotions and try to not let them kind of carry you away in whatever it is that comes to you. So with the wand that my brother made me, with the blue aventurine and the amethyst and our selenite ball or sphere, we are going to channel in the energy of what is coming forward. Also got the amethyst and citrine necklace that my brother made for me, and you see I am all gemstoned up. Protect yourself, ground and protect yourself always. In fact, I'm going to do some more Florida water. And I'm going to pull over the selenite chakra log that my brother wire wrapped for me. My brother makes a lot of things for me. Thank you, Jesse. JP's Twisted Crystals. He also is a highly intuitive person, and you can find him on TikTok, The Seer's Altar. I'm just hitting my chakra points here. He has some amazing shirts with phrases that are very important to us all. And he delivers messages that are a bit shorter, but to the point, very powerful. I mentioned last night, he does use more of the spiritual verbiage, and because I've worked in the mental health fields for so long, 1010 on the clock, having to navigate using the psychological words. Thank you for Carl Jung, who kind of opened the door a little bit more. Love Carl Jung and the things that he teaches. Remember, you are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. That word choice coming through again. So you may have things that feel like you are being pushed into them, but just remember, you always have a choice. It may not feel like it's a good choice. I talk about sometimes there is a gnat in here that is going to drive me nuts. Ugh! I hate that, but that's okay. We are going to refocus. It may not feel like you have a good choice. You may be in one of those situations you're caught between a rock and a hard place. If I do this, then I might get harmed. If I do this, then maybe somebody else gets harmed. Or maybe somebody's trying to do something to you, whatever it is. And again, it may not be a long period that you have a choice. It may be something where there is no choice that feels good. 11:20 on the clock, my birthday. I keep seeing that lately, probably because we're coming up on my birthday. It's Scorpio season. But there's always a choice. May not always feel good. Let's look up 11:20 and see if it's a number that is like, what is the angelic or numerological meaning of 11:20? Because it keeps coming up quite a bit. So we're going to look at this, and I'm scratching the side of my nose. All right, that's an AI overview. No offense to AI, but we are going to scroll down a little bit. All right, so Joanne Sacred Scribes comes up at the top quite a bit. So I'm guessing this must be a very popular platform, or one that gets a lot of interest. So we're going to try to click through the ads that are coming up and see what 11:20 means. All right. Number 1120 is made up of the vibrations of the number 1, which appears twice, resonating with the karmic master number 11. So when we break things down, 11 is a master number, so you don't have to break it down to a 2. It is just at 11. And then the energies of 2 and the number 0. So number 1 promotes changes, new beginnings, and ventures, ambition, tenacity, self-leadership, and assertiveness, initiative, instinct, and intuition. Those are a lot of amazing adjectives. It carries the energy of striving forward and pursuing goals, and relates to creating our own realities by our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. If we look at the master number 11, it brings its influences of spiritual awakening and enlightenment, which is part of what I'm here to help you with on your journey to spiritual awakening and enlightenment. Illumination and mysticism, creativity, idealism, inspiration and intuition, self-expression, and sensitivity. Master number 11 tells us to connect with our higher selves and to know and serve our soul purpose. So that is completely in alignment, and I know why I'm reading that now, with everything that I was saying before about, yes, I'm sorry for the cryptic messages, but the things that if you know, you know, if you get it, you get it, if you don't, it's okay. Maybe it's not meant for you to know. Maybe it's better that you don't know. Another cryptic meaning there, right? I finagled this to make it work better for me, and it is a little loose because it kept catching my braids. So you may see me playing with it a bit. All right, we're going to get back to this. So number 2 lends its vibrations of duality. All of us have duality. It's not just one or the other. I talk about embracing the shadows, doing the shadow work, understanding that in order to get to the light, you have to go through the dark. You have to deal with those emotions. You have to deal with those traumas, all of those things. We all have a duality. And this again is where I say you have a choice. You may not know what choice you would make in the moment. You may judge others for the choices they make and not know that you may make the same decision. The circumstances may be different, but you may make the same decision. So we got to let go of that judgment too. All right. Number 2 lends its vibrations to duality, finding balance, adaptability, diplomacy, and cooperation, faith and trust. serving your divine life purpose and soul mission. So again, we're back to that life purpose and soul mission. And I know we're already at 15 minutes. I think that I am just coming to terms with the fact that my videos are going to be long. And if they resonate with other people, I will try to put timestamps in, but it may not always happen. 15:15 on the clock. It may not always happen. And that if the message needs to go where it will, that is the intention that I set out, that whoever needs to see the message will, whether that is when I post the video or months from now, a year from now, whenever it is, you will get the message. All right, so we will move forward. It is a number of partnerships, love, and family. The number 0 brings a message to do with developing one's spiritual aspects. So again, very much so in alignment with this third eye, with this discernment, using your intuition, being able to recognize when things do not feel right. And just because you feel like the majority, whether that's people that you love, people you know, people that live around you, whatever it is, even if the majority say, no, 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 that's not what's going on, that you have that discernment. Think about a time where maybe you met someone and they just rubbed you the wrong way. Their energy was off. You didn't feel good around them. And when you tried to tell someone else, they're like, oh no, that's a great person. Like, they're so nice. They do all these things. And you're just thinking to yourself, well, maybe I'm wrong. Like, people really like this person. Maybe that's not right. And then you find out about this person and things about them that it's like, I was right. But I pushed my intuition and my instincts to the side because I followed what others were saying. So we have to understand, this is part of the duality as well. We have to understand that our insecurities, our anxieties, our traumas, our past experiences can color the way we interpret our intuition. But if something feels off, it may not be what you think it is, but it is. And this is where you go back and you kind of look at things through a clear lens and use that discernment. And it just feels important that I'm saying these things. So maybe the cards are a separate reading. Maybe this video, in fact, we'll do that. When I finish the 1120 explanation and the messages that came through in the other card readings, we'll make that this video. And then I will do another video still in my Empathic Crow costume. And I will pull cards. That way you have 2 different options. You can choose to watch the video. You can choose not to. And then it'll be a shorter video, so maybe I won't have as much difficulty with uploading the videos. It gets ridiculous sometimes. This is why I'm at the point where I'm like, I may not put up captions. I may not put up different things that may make it more eye-capturing, whatever, to people. And that's not even my energy and how I like to do things. Like, if you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it. But I understand that sometimes people may not be drawn to it because they need extra signs and visual stimulation and things like that. And it's okay. I'm not getting on to you about it. I understand. I am somebody who has to have color and highlights and all kinds of stuff in order to get my brain to focus on especially work task. I like color. You can see that. So we all have our thing. I'm not getting on to you. I'm just saying I'm trying to accommodate, but I can only adapt so much. All right. So the number 0 suggests that you listen to your intuition and higher self, as this is where you will find the answers. The number 0 also amplifies and magnifies the energies of the numbers that appear with it, making them more powerful and influential. So when you're looking at the angel number 1120, it tells you to look at the new experiences with optimism, as they will bring about favorable new opportunities. This is where I'm saying, even with some of the messages that came at the beginning of this video, if you understand the references, try not to get so focused and worried about that, because there are good things that are coming. Like, even when we look at the Tower card or the Death card, things have to have a shakeup. Things have to come to light. Like, if we're thinking about the Moon card and the things hidden, the things that are unseen, things have to come to light in order for them to change. And change is hard, but it doesn't mean it's not a good thing. And that's kind of what's about to come up in here. Do not be hindered by old and outdated habits and ways of doing things that no longer positively serve you. The angels are helping you with achieving your goals and aspirations and are assisting you to shed the old so that it can be replaced with the new. I'm going to say that again. Shed the old so it can be replaced with the new. Change is scary. What may seem at first to be an obstacle or a hindrance today may prove to be a blessing in disguise tomorrow. Angel number 1120 is a message to trust that all will work out for the highest good of all, and to have faith and trust that outcomes will be favorable and beneficial to you. It also may be telling you different ways that you can, bring in more positive energies, and that the angels encourage you to surround yourself with love and joy, and it may mean a change in space. So a lot of this is talking about change, intuition, all of those things. Stay on a positive path and use your natural skills, talents, and abilities to their utmost for the benefit of yourself and others. So I did read all of that, and as I said, this is from sacredscribeangelnumbers.blogspot.com. Definitely credit where credit is due, and that's, I believe, Joanne Sacred Scribes. So we will end this video here, and I will start the new one in just a moment. But again, if the message resonated with you, 2120 on the clock, then it was meant for you. Take care. Happy Halloween.